Okay. We don't even have to. Let's do a sync clap for fun. 3, 2, 1.
That
Jace,
was
go.
not in sync.
Cool. Okay. So, Jace, we're back.
We are back, Jace.
Andrew, we're back.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Wow, you're not Andrew. This is Fiona. She's joined the show to replace Andrew because Andrew has gone back to Cornell, and me and Jace are sad.
We miss you, Andrew.
And we miss you a lot, and we know you're listening because you care.
Yeah.
He's probably not listening.
He will.
Maybe.
Who knows? Just email it to him repeatedly until he
Until
watches
house. Okay, yeah. So we do that if the house alarm goes off. We just say, I say house really loud. Okay, so this is also replacing the third episode because the third episode was corrupted and we lost it. Andrew was in that one, but
it's a good episode.
It was gone. Are we peaking audio-wise?
No.
I can't tell. Okay, we're fine.
I haven't
Okay,
been paying attention.
Yeah, you can see those little green lines. You can't see the green lines at home, but we can see them. We'll be fine. It's fine. You can deal with it. But so we announced the name of the show finally in the third episode.
Wait,
that was lost.
What is this called? No one told me.
Well, yeah, that's because we were going to announce it on the show.
What?
But so the podcast is named. I was going to do a drum roll on the table, but we're not allowed to do that. It is called Derailed. Because we can't stay on a topic longer than 5 minutes. And it's usually we get off base. Second episode, Adam called us.
Really?
Yeah, we're explaining to you because they don't know what we done. They've seen this, you haven't.
I haven't. I'm so bad. I'm on this and I haven't seen any.
Well, it's not posted yet
I know,
either.
but like you asked me to be on it. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, so I guess let's start with a question. Cats or dogs? Jace.
In the context of what?
Cats or dogs? Do you like
There
cats?
is a right answer here,
do you
and
like,
if you get it wrong,
which one do you like better? Let's all three say it at the same time.
Oh, that's even more
and
pressure.
then we can discuss later. You ready?
okay.
Jason, you ready? You got your answer?
Sure.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Dogs. You didn't
You
say
said it.
anything.
What were you gonna say?
Cats.
Oh,
Okay.
that's the wrong answer.
Okay.
See, everyone says that. But I'm allergic to both. So.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm allergic to both too.
Me too.
But I'm less allergic to dogs than I am to cats.
I also have a fear of dogs.
You like Molly?
But we've talked about this.
Are you
Yeah.
afraid of my dogs?
No, it's not as bad as it used to be. And usually the fear was larger dogs. But when I was a smaller human being, I did have quite a fear of dogs.
Was this on the third episode or was the corrupt episode?
I think this was on the corrupt episode.
Okay, well, I don't know if it was or not, but I went to therapy because I was afraid of dogs.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Why were both of you so afraid of dogs?
When I was little, I had a traumatic experience with one of my family members' dogs came up and jumped on me. And then also, there was this time, okay, so in our neighborhood that I used to live in, there's these 3 gigantic, terrifying looking dogs. Like, they're big, like, bulky dogs. Like
Rottweilers?
Yeah, Rottweilers.
Okay.
They had 3 of them, and they all somehow got out of the person's backyard. And this is when I'm still, like, I was so afraid of dogs, I wouldn't leave my house. Like, I couldn't go outside. And so my mom sent me to go get the mail one day, and I went out to go get the mail. And these 3 Rottweilers come out, and I'm not even joking, they cornered me.
Oh,
Like,
no.
there was 1 in front of me and 2 on either side of me, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. My mom runs out and, like, gets the dogs to go away from me. Later, a few years later, those same dogs got out again, and they bit a jogger, and literally they took a chunk out of his leg. And I said, I could have died by those 3 Rottweilers.
Oh my god.
Because I was little. But, yeah, now I'm not afraid of dogs anymore, but, yeah, I'm not afraid of dogs anymore.
And also, just to continue on with explaining my reasoning, cats are more, like, independent.
See, that's the thing I like about dogs. I like that they want to be around me. Because cats, while I am highly allergic to them, they want attention when they want it.
Yeah.
Dogs just want to give you love all the time, and that's what I need in my life.
I don't get me wrong, I love dogs. I love dogs, but I love dogs when they're other people's dogs. Like, I love going to people's houses and seeing their dogs, and then once I get enough dog, I can go home and go to my room and not have to deal with allergies.
So I actually had a cat when I was younger. His name was Casper. He was a white cat, and we spelled it with P-U-R-R instead of P-E-R, like Casper the Ghost. But so I don't have many memories of Casper. Casper was old. He was 20 when he died.
Wow,
he was
that is
old.
an
He
old
died.
cat.
He died of a tumor. But when I literally, this is the one story that sticks out in my mind, is my aunt was over at my house in Tuscaloosa, and my mom sent me to her room to get something from her room. And I remember walking and then stepping on his tail, and he bit my big toe.
Oh no!
And that's one of the very few memories I have of Casper. But also, there's more to that story. So
no.
I remember looking for whatever, I don't remember what she sent me to go look for, but I opened her drawer, and inside was a Game Boy game that she had bought me, that I didn't know she had bought me.
Oh, no.
So I just said, I'm just going to leave it there, and I put it back to where it was, and then I grabbed the thing she needed, and then a couple days later she gave me the game and said, oh, thank you. But I knew she got it for me, and she doesn't know that story, but now she knows.
Side note, we all have green drinks going on right now.
We do.
Like, look at this. This is...
Mine's
They can't
so
see this if they're listening to this.
Just
If you're
Cheers.
listening
Cheers.
on the podcast, sorry, you don't get to experience the green drink madness.
green drink madness.
Yeah,
That
so-
should be our
oh,
shirt.
wait, so it was Casper P-U-R-R, right?
Yeah, Casper P-U-R-R.
P-U. What did I
Like
say?
purr.
Oh my god.
Casper.
My mom was like the queen of giving cats really good names. So she had one named Oedipus. And then she had another one called There He Is.
Oh.
And he was called There He Is because anytime you would turn around, there he is!
Ah, I get it.
No.
Those are the only two that she told me the names of, besides one that she had when she was really little that they named Bob because her and her siblings could not agree on a name. So their dad was like, just call him Bob, and then walked away.
Was he a bobcat?
No, I wish it could have been. That would have been really cool.
A missed opportunity.
Very big.
Hey, we
missed
forgot to start a
opportunity.
timer for this. How
Yeah,
long have
it's
we been
fine.
talking? Let me.
I don't
Tell me
know.
how long do you think we've been talking? Let's.
I guess like 8
5
minutes.
8 minutes? I would have said 5.
Maybe I was gonna lean towards 10.
Let's just put a timer for 25 more minutes, and that's how long this podcast will last.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this podcast will be another 25 minutes if you're just joining us.
Welcome.
Welcome. So I think we've covered the basis that dogs win. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, they
If
do.
you're not voted.
I don't care if they win or lose.
Dog is the right answer.
So let's do. This is a special episode. Usually we have one question,
Oh no.
but this is a daily double. We got 2 questions today.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. Also, it's Alex Trebek. Sorry, we're getting off topic here. There's this whole theory about the guy. I don't know what his name is, but there was this one guy on Jeopardy who won a ton of money. Like he was second best of getting that much money, and there's a theory that they kicked him off the show and purposely made him lose because he was going to bankrupt the show.
Incredible. I was reading another article. It wasn't theories or anything. It was just like the 2 contestants.
Oh, yeah, the ones that went on forever.
No, they didn't go on forever. They were on and they were head to head against one another. They ended up getting married. They're a cute lesbian couple now.
They're lesbians?
Yeah.
That just made my soul so
I was
happy.
reading it and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Have you guys heard any updates about Alex Trebek? Because I know he's...
He stepped away from the show.
I
He's
did know
going
that.
through treatment, but I haven't heard anything else.
There's a documentary on him now. I haven't watched it yet.
Where
but
is it?
I don't know, but I saw an ad for it.
I want to watch it now.
He's such a
Dang
sweet
it.
man.
Let's do the question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we,
continue.
Okay.
we got derailed. Ha ha.
Well, it's such a good name. Who came up with it? I don't know. Okay. Which one of these things was sold in 1830 as medicine? Ketchup, lime extract, potato soup, horseradish.
Ketchup. It's totally ketchup.
Jace, what is your thought?
I never get these right. I'm going to go with horseradish.
Horseradish?
It's totally ketchup.
The answer is ketchup. Ketchup was the answer. In 1930, ketchup was sold as medicine.
You know
Want to
what?
know why I knew that?
Why?
Andrew-
Because I watch a bunch of documentaries called Supersizers Eat, and it's these 2 English comedians who they like live in the time period, and they eat all the food from the time period, and they had one from like 1910 to 1930. Like, they had a series of them. And they kept having ketchup to try and cure their indigestion. And it only made it worse.
You know what, Andrew? You've never gotten a question wrong.
Yeah, Andrew's gotten every question right.
Keeping the tradition going.
Andrew, this one's for you, bud. But yeah, so should we do another question?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, why
Okay,
not?
cool. This is the next question. This, by the way, we're filming this a couple days after the Super Bowl, so I know this is being posted like weeks later.
I did not pay attention to the Super Bowl. This
We
is
were at a
gonna go
movie.
badly.
We didn't even watch the Super Bowl.
I mean, I got home and my dad was watching it, and he was
Oh.
like, "So how was the movie?" And I went, "It was good. You should see it." And he said, "Sports," and made me watch.
The movie we saw was The Gentleman.
Really
A
good.
great movie. I've seen it twice now, and it might be one of my favorite movies I've ever seen.
It's really good. You should see it if you haven't seen
I
it.
haven't seen it, but I've read great reviews on it.
It's
Go
great.
see
It's a great
it.
movie. Okay. How much did commercials go for in the Super Bowl?
This year?
This year.
Okay.
4 million for 30 seconds, 6.7 million for 30 seconds, 5.6 for 30 seconds, or 11 million for 30 seconds.
I'm gonna be crazy and say 11 million because I know people are like, America, sports, and yeah.
Jace?
I'm going to go with the 6 million only because this came up in class because we were talking about commercials for my class, and they had a side-by-side comparison about like 30 years ago compared to now. And
So
then-
you're saying your answer is 6.7 million?
Yes.
You're locking in.
I'm wrong, but yes.
You're locking in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're both wrong.
Oh no, which one is it?
We actually talked about this in my class too because we're both film students.
Right.
It's 5.6 million for 30 seconds.
I thought it would have been way more than that, given
That's
like...
still a ton of money
It's-
for a
It
commercial.
is, but it's also the Super Bowl, which is like the largest opportunity for commercials.
It's the most watched thing in the world other than the World Cup.
Yeah, I watch the Super Bowl for the commercials. I change the channel when I know they're playing sports.
Okay,
Playing sports.
let's derail from that a little bit.
I actually had a derail from that too. Go ahead.
But let's talk about what's been your all-time favorite Super Bowl commercial.
I really like... Okay, so the Doritos commercials have changed recently.
They have.
But I really wanted to... I actually looked this up because they used to do a competition where they would let the fans make the commercial and they would pick the best one. And if they picked yours, it would play during the Super Bowl and they would buy it from you for $1 million.
Huh.
They don't do that anymore. But they
Wish
used to.
they did. Ooh.
What is your favorite commercial, Fiona?
Oh God, which one was it? It was when I was a kid. I just remember like asking my brother to find it on the internet all the time, but I can't remember what it is now. I think there was like a unicorn in it or something.
Makes a lot of sense.
Like something like that. But recently, my favorite one actually was from this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one where all the P&G brands that normally advertise separately did it all in one commercial. So, like, Mr. Clean showed up.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did Febreze. They had
Tide.
the Bounty Man show up. They were, like,
I know what you're talking about.
just all in one. And I thought it was so clever and so funny.
I like the Tide commercial from this year because it kept working its way into other
Where they,
commercials.
like, grew up and they, at different points they were like, you got a stain on me.
Oh, wait, will you, wait, quick, shake it. Oh, thank goodness. I don't know why that happened. I set the computer to, okay. If
Maybe we've
just
been
at
talking
home,
longer than
the-
we thought.
no,
we
it hasn't
we
been
just
2
randomly
hours.
started dancing for those at home.
Yeah, the computer decided it was done and it needed to be shook. Okay, so we shook it and it's back. Okay. But yeah.
I thought it was clever because he was like, "Can I do it now?" And they're like, "No, do it later." He's like, next commercial, like, "Can I do it now?" And they're like, "No, do it later." But I think my all-time favorite Super Bowl commercial was a couple of years ago, and it's so dear to my heart just because my mom loves this commercial more than anything. But it's the M&M commercial where like the M&Ms are talking, and then he rips off his shell and he goes, "I'm sexy and I know it," and he just starts dancing.
I know that.
I can't. That song, middle school dances ruined it for me now. I can't listen to it without thinking of like the people awkwardly trying to dance and not doing well.
I want to derail from that.
Yeah.
Okay, so sticking with Super Bowl commercials, there's also those commercials that's like save the whales and all this kind of stuff.
The one that always
sponsored
has Sarah
by
McLachlan.
Charmin.
Yeah.
And then she's like sad singing in the background.
and then it's a Charmin commercial. I'm like, okay, so by saving the whales and making that big statement, I feel like it's kind of just they're using that as kind of like we're helping other things buy our product. I think it's a little like it goes back to are you really a good person if you're not doing good deeds when no one's looking?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And
That's
unfortunately, a lot of large corporations that do advertise charitable acts in like campaigns and stuff, they'll only donate maybe 5 to 10% of the proceeds from that campaign to those organizations. If someone's wanting to do something to truly help those causes, just donate directly to the organizations that are doing the work rather than going through a third party, buying something. That has always bothered me, but I am also a hippie, so...
I think I agree with you. However, if I was to not necessarily... Like, I want to help them, but I'm also needing to buy a product. Say... I need toilet paper. I'm out of toilet paper. Am I going to buy the one that saves the whales, or am I going to buy the one that's Kroger brand because it's cheaper?
Depends on where you're at in your life.
It's true. If I'm a broke college student, it's Kroger brand it is.
Exactly.
But if I'm old and wealthy man because I made my fortune off a Bite, the new version of Vine...
I still haven't followed you on that. I'm sorry.
No, okay, so get the derailing again. Get Bite. It's a great... And follow me on Bite. Jake Alex will.
What is Bite?
It's Vine. Have you seen Vine? Do you know what Vine is?
I know what Vine is.
It's Vine 2. It's the second version.
We
I thought that
posted
was
a video of both of
Musical.ly.
us.
No,
No, Musical.ly is dead.
Musical.ly
it's now
is TikTok.
Is it what? Wait, TikTok? I'm so... Okay,
So-
I'm not from this generation. I'm still from, like, the 50s.
So, Musical.ly turned into TikTok. And
When?
a
Ages
while
ago.
ago.
It was like...
Whenever TikTok started, isn't it the same app? They just changed the name?
Yeah, I think it's technically still the same app. They changed the name because a Chinese corporation bought it, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to rebrand it and make it their own. But TikTok, you can lip sync to things or you can create your own audios and you can do longer than 7-second videos now. You can do like up to 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a little bit more flexibility to it than Vine did. Bite is just Vine. Again, it's like 7 seconds.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But I got some funny ones on there. I'm up to 10 followers.
Wow.
It's great.
He posted a video of the two of us.
I did.
I'm flicking you off in it.
Mm-hmm. That's a
That's
clip.
our relationship anyway.
That's
so.
a clip. That's a clip from a short that will be also posted on this channel later called Locked.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
It's a great
so
thing.
weird filming that.
It's so much fun.
We got stopped by the mall manager
Oh yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
They thought I was going to kill you
because you ran at me with a staff.
and was screaming.
Oh, yeah. And then another woman stopped because she was like, "Sweethearts," or no, wait, I gotta do a southern accent. "Sweethearts, are you locked out of your car? Do you need me to call someone for you?
No, we're good.
Are you sure you're all
We
right?"
are just filming.
As we're holding a camera.
I have a funny story. So well, we still got 13 minutes on this podcast.
Yeah.
We're good.
Wow.
But so last night I went to Chick-fil-A and Lizzie works at Chick-fil-A, which is one of our friends.
Yep.
And shout out to Lizzie. We were so me and Emily were driving to get food so we could go to the music meeting to
Yes.
talk about our musical that we're writing.
Yes.
This is a whole nother thing, which we talked about briefly in one of the 2 episodes that's
Yes.
already filmed. But so we got food, and she was taking the order through the drive-thru. I thought she knew who I was, and so she said, "Hi, my name's Lizzie," and I said, "Hi, Lizzie," and no accent. I just said it regular, and then I started talking in a real Southern accent.
Oh,
I said,
no.
"So can I get a well done sandwich with a handful of salt?" Just a handful of salt. And then she didn't know who I was. And then so Emily makes her order, and she says, "Can I get mac and cheese, but without the cheese?"
Why would you guys do this
well, we
to
thought
her?
she knew it was us. And then so Lizzie responds, "Let me ask." And then we realized she had no clue that it was us. And then she turned off her mic and asked somebody. do we sell mac and cheese without the cheese?
Oh my god.
And so then we drove up to the window. Then she was like, I hate you. And then, but it was fun.
I'm going to derail from that. Fun fact, my brother used to work at Chick-fil-A.
My brother did too.
Hey.
He couldn't pronounce the name. He called it Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
That just sounded like you had to sneeze and you were just holding it in. But he would work the drive-through. But instead of people doing accents to him, he did accents to people. And he's actually pretty good at an Australian accent. And so he did an Australian accent every time. And then I guess this one guy was a regular. And one day he didn't do the accent. And the guy pulled up. And he's like, did the Australian guy quit working here? I really miss that guy.
Aw, that's so wholesome.
There was an actor, a famous actor, that did that at tables. Can't remember who it was.
Shoot. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he did it at tables for a long time.
It was...
So that could be any actor.
They could be any.
No, I know. Like, he talked about it on Jimmy Fallon, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's that's gonna bother me for the rest of the day now because I can't remember.
I thought you were going to say for the rest of my life.
You want to know a crazy fact? So I recently got the screen protector on my phone changed out.
Yes.
Sorry, this is derailing from this completely because I just looked at my phone for the time. But they sold me this one. It's a little bit more expensive than the regular one because Otter made it.
Has it already cracked?
Well, it's supposed to be this new brand that's unbreakable. And so there's people like at E3, I think it was E3, they were trying to show people it. And he would literally gave the people this phone and said, I will give you $100 if you could break the screen protector. So I bought it. It's been great. And then I took my case off my phone the other day because my phone got sticky. And there's a giant crack right across the front now. It's a hairline crack where you can see it. And so I broke the impossible to break.
Is it
thing.
the screen protector or is it?
I think it's the screen protector because you can feel it.
Oh my gosh, you can.
Oh, can you?
It's totally across the whole thing. Like, feel right around there.
Sorry, guys. You're just going to have to listen to us
talk about it. But
We're amazed
so I
by
broke
this.
the thing
Wow.
that's supposed to be unbreakable.
You should take a picture of it, send it
Well, I
to
mean, I
them,
don't
and
know if you
say,
can
"Give me
see it.
$100."
But
Thank
yeah,
you
you should apply for the $100. Be like,
Also, the top of my phone is also... I need to put a case back on this.
You do.
Yeah. But I love having a phone without a case. It feels so good to have a phone without a case.
I don't trust myself.
Well, I don't either, but it's been a blast.
You know why
It's
I
an
got
adventure.
a new phone? It's because mine fell out of my pocket into a toilet.
That's happened. Like, I went to the store and
Did
there was
that happen to you?
Not to me, but I went to the store to change up my phone one time, and this lady was like, "Yeah, I've dropped my phone in the toilet like 3 times this week." I said, "Stop keeping it in your back pocket, lady."
Here's the thing. My phone wasn't even in my back pocket. I was wearing this like flowy maxi dress thing, and it was super pretty. I felt cute. I was going to work, and I didn't want to go to work that day, so I put on a nice outfit to like make myself feel better about the situation. Yep. I was at Panera. I got coffee. I had like an egg thing. I don't even remember.
You were at Panera?
I was at Panera.
No.
I was at Panera, and I went to use the restroom before driving across the highway to go to work. And it, like, the dress had pockets that were on the front, and it went from the front pocket and, like, flew out behind me and into the toilet. And my friend who was with me heard me go, "No!" And she's like, "What happened? Did you fall in the toilet?" And then I came out like holding it by the corner, like. And it didn't work for the rest of the day. It completely shut off. I wasn't able to get it on again. Shake it,
like
shake it, shake it,
our
shake
laptop.
it.
Yeah, there we go. We're good.
But like, it wouldn't work for the rest of the day. And at the time, I didn't have my license because I'm old and didn't get my license until I was old.
You know, that's actually a statistic now that people are waiting to get their license.
Well,
I
mean,
like that.
with
You get
so
less
many
crazy kids doing.
Yeah.
I sound so old right now.
But it's also like you have all these other avenues. Like you have Lyft, you have Uber. It's not a necessity to drive yourself anymore.
Driving makes me, like, the riding in an Uber and, like, all that kind of stuff, it just makes me nervous. Because I don't like riding with people that I don't know.
As a woman, it's terrifying.
That is, yeah, very true. But
I mean, I'm not experienced being a woman. But
I can give you some fake boobs. You want to try?
I'm just afraid. I'm a chicken when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, even riding in a taxi makes me nervous sometimes.
I've never ridden in a taxi.
I've ridden in a taxi.
I've ridden in taxis in a couple different countries, and they have a totally different feel. What just happened?
I don't know.
Cue ball.
Reset that timer for 7 minutes, Siri.
I'm so confused. Dear Lord.
A timer is already running.
Change it.
Okay.
Okay.
The new timer is running. for
Change
7
it.
minutes.
That was so
And-
demanding.
Thank you, Siri.
Sync.
Okay, let's clap. Cool, it was good enough. We're not actually doing that anymore.
We're so bad at this.
Yeah, so our computer just decided that it was done. It was full.
I needed a break.
Yeah, so I deleted things. And now we're back. We're back with more space on the computer.
That's
Jace
cool.
actually brought up a pretty cool topic off camera. I don't know where we left off.
I think I was talking about taxis, but what Jace was talking about is much cooler.
Let's you want to go to sports?
Oh yeah, so somehow we went from, because we derailed, we went from talking about taxis to who at the table had played sports in their previous life before being a performer. And I found out that we all played sports, so it'd be cool if we went down the line and just said what sport we played. I played baseball.
Ah, I dropped my
I
ball.
can see that.
Sorry, I was playing with the cue ball.
Wow, Jake, the ball's dropped.
What sport did you play, Jake?
I played soccer, basketball, baseball, football. I went to tennis camp once.
just one time.
And I also went to golf camp.
Okay. I played soccer. I did gymnastics. I also played tennis, but I was really bad at it.
I was bad at every one of those sports.
Oh no.
There's one thing I was actually good at. I was good at machine pitch baseball.
What is that? Oh, is it the
It's
thing
when
where
you-
it throws it at you and you're
Yeah.
in the little...
But they bring the machine to like the baseball field,
Oh, okay.
and so it regulates pitches. Then we did the kid pitch, and holy cow, I was terrified. But I have a reasoning. There was this kid in my class who was on the other team, and he literally would say, "I'm gonna pitch, and I'm gonna throw it at you."
That's rude.
And so, like, I was terrified of, like, getting up there because, like, people were getting pegged with a baseball.
Ow.
And I said, I don't want to get pegged by a baseball. That's why I like
painful.
machine pitch, because my dad, we had this long stick that had a ball at the end, and he would bring it, and I would practice hitting. And
Yeah.
since the machine pitch was so consistent of where the ball was going, I always knew where to swing. And so I was the best batter on the team because I knew where that ball was going. But
as soon as kids started...
as soon as kids pitch, I was terrible. I said, I don't want to play. I'm going to get pegged.
Oh my gosh. I was one of those crazy kids who, like, in soccer, when I was told what position to play, I went, no. So I was told that I would be, like, the third line where you kind of don't do anything. And I was like, heck no. I'm not going to be
offense.
doing that. And I somehow was able to convince the coach to make me forward. And I kicked everyone's butt, and she was like, I should have done this from the whole time. I was like, yeah, you should have. Little sassy little 5-year-old me, and I had blonde hair that was barely existent at the time. I looked completely different. I was not intimidating whatsoever. I was never sassy besides then. I was like, I'm gonna be forward.
When I played soccer, there was one day, I was little, but I was not good at all. I was just not good. And then my dad went out of town, and our coach wasn't there at the game, but we still had a game. I scored 4 points in that game.
And he missed it.
And my dad wasn't there, and the coach wasn't there. But I scored the most points in the game.
It's amazing.
And then they came back, and then I wasn't good anymore.
I guess
it was a
they were
fluke.
your bad luck charms.
I don't think that. I think I just got really nervous because the coach was scary, and he would yell if you didn't do things correctly. And so I was always like, I'm just gonna not do anything because I don't want to be wrong.
Okay,
Aw.
so fun fact, my first passion, love in life was soccer. And I practiced every day until one day I kicked my soccer ball into the fence and it popped. And we didn't have enough money to buy a new one.
Aw.
And I was like, my dreams were so crushed. And I was like, I'm just never going to come back to it.
Did
And
it
I
feel
never
like
You
did.
can have that soccer ball in there. I bought a soccer ball for a short film.
Didn't it
Maybe
feel
I'll
like
get back
the,
into
you know,
it.
in Castaway where he's like, Wilson?
Yeah,
Did
it was
feel
like
that?
I kicked it too hard and it started going down the hill really fast. And I was like, just see me running down the hill after it, but it was like way too fast, and it went straight into the fence, and there was a nail that was sticking out.
Oh, that's so sad.
It was whatever.
That breaks my heart.
But my brother, who's like the exact opposite of me, is a sports guy, and he actually set records for the track team at his high school. So growing up, I had to be really, really fast because we used to play tag all the time. And so I'm really fast, not because I played sports, but because I had a giant brother who liked to tackle me.
I get that. My brothers and I, when we were kids, because I don't know why, we were always terrified of being kidnapped. Mm-hmm. So instead of playing tag or anything like that, we would take turns tying each other up in like the most difficult knots possible and seeing how long it would take for the person to break out. So I know how to like get my arms when they're tied behind my back super tightly in front of me and untie it. Like I know how to do all this weird stuff.
That might be why your joints just break.
I'm broken anyways. It's okay.
I want to derail a little bit. This will make you mad.
Oh no!
And it's kind of going off of sports. When I was not homeschooled, and when I went to regular public school for high school, I was on a sports team.
What sports team?
I played Quidditch in high school.
I love that so much.
We had a Quidditch team in school, and that would make you mad because I've never
seen Harry Potter.
I've never seen Harry Potter, but I've been to where they filmed it. I've been to Harry Potter World. And I was on a Quidditch team in high school.
It makes me so angry that you've done all these things and don't know the joy of the series. I am kidnapping you. You are watching it.
Have you ever watched Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. You had to think about that too hard. Did you not see Harry Potter?
It's not Leviosa, it's Leviosa.
Do you say it the same way? It's not Leviosa. It's Leviosa. I learned my British accent from Hermione. I have all her lines memorized. I love Harry Potter
Daniel
so
Radcliffe
much.
is funny. I like
He's
Daniel
so good.
Radcliffe.
He's in Endgame at the Old Vic right now in London, and it looks really good.
I was reading an article
behind it.
how he wore the same outfit. Thank you, timer. He wore the same outfit for 4 months just to make the paparazzi mad because they couldn't sell the photos of him because they all look the same.
Yeah.
My
he
favorite.
Put on the same coat at the stage door when he was in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last fact that we're gonna leave you with because I watched a video and I can't remember what YouTube it was, but he worked as a secretary there that day, and Joe Jonas came in. And then Joe Jonas didn't know who he was. And so there's video of Joe Jonas being like, this stupid secretary. And it was Daniel Radcliffe. Because he didn't know it was him. And so I thought that was really funny.
Good.
I don't know if they were on the same show together, but I know that Joe Jonas was on How to Succeed in Business on Broadway.
It was Nick Jonas.
It was Nick Jonas, not
It was
Joe?
Nick Jonas.
I get
Nick
the
Jonas,
brothers mixed up.
He took over the role after Daniel Radcliffe left.
I think that's so funny that he genuinely didn't know who he was. And
they like talk about Harry Potter. Oh, that makes me so mad.
Okay, well, with that, how do we end this?
Bye-bye!
How do we end this?
Should we all just say bye?
That seems a little gratuitous.
We've done that before.
Oh, should we just stop talking and that's it?
Okay. Bye.